Hey, happy 1st of September. It's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature. Happy spring day if you are in South Africa or in the Southern Hemisphere, and harvest time celebrations in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I've got to go and pick up my daughter later on, and I just wanted to do some rituality and just share how I use these beautiful changing seasons and every day actually to deepen into trust and to really use that intuitive knowing that is so divinely feminine to get your planning in a way that you get the results without going in a way that's with force or resistance. So I was with the horses earlier, and I went and I just took my journal, my cards, and I just sat with the horses. They love messing with my stuff, so I've come back here. Hi Audley, hi Glenn, to continue it and also to just share a little bit of my process with you. So if you're joining the conversation, if you don't know me, I'm here to just contribute and to a better world, actually, to just contribute to a better world. And I just welcome you to bring your questions today. I do have my oracle deck out. I have been, let me turn this around and you can have a look at some of my process. How do I do this? How do I turn it around? So I've got my yearly planner out here, and some beautiful jasmine, my sage going, and my journal, and of course good hydration. And I am just really deepening into what do I want, how I want to end the next three months of my year strong, and also just to look back and have some kind of celebration and rituality to tap into the things that are working and really deepen into what it is that you want to create for the next 3 months of your year. And I always love to look back. I love this book. It is My Shining Year book. I don't know if any of you have this. It's a great book. Beautiful way, like a workbook that just transforms everything. It's by Leonie Dawson. So in January, what I do is I sit down on the new year, and I ask for, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want to create? What do I want to bring into the world? And how do I transform through trusting love that I am divinely supported and divinely protected and divinely guided to bring my work into the world and create a bigger difference. And I pull the cards, and this is for my entire life, because my joy of life is business. Hi Debbie. And it's always interesting because I don't always have it open. And I opened it yesterday because it's a new month, and I saw that the card that I drew in January for August was, I was using Colette Barron's, was time for a nap. So this was interesting because I had a big cold going on. I had laryngitis. I wasn't feeling that great, and it really was such a great reminder to see this and go, oh, that's what August was about. August was about slowing down. It was about allowing myself to rest and regenerate and just do not as much as I normally do, to actually sit in the space that I teach in the trust process of no thinking, of just allowing myself to totally feel. Hi Debbie, nice to see you here. And I'm going to do some card readings. So if you type your questions below, I would love to pull a card for you, give you a message. Hi Grant. So my August card was really about getting still, getting really quiet, so that I could step away from all the noise, step away from all the madness, reassess and get back into attunement with my vision and my purpose and how I wanted to go forward in my life. So a lot of things changed, and I also had to let go of a lot of attachments that I had to things looking a certain way. And if you're a woman and you're listening to this, you're clearly sensitive, you're clearly intuitive, and you know that we don't do well when we're trying to fit in like a square hole, or a round peg in a square hole, to a masculine world that is really telling you to push through and keep going, and that you can't afford to get sick. And this is where exhaustion for me in August really stopped me. My adrenals were completely burnt out, my hair's been falling out, and it was really a big step that had been building since May, on my birthday, when I broke 2 of my ribs falling off a horse, to practice some radical self-care, to really look at my health and reassess some of the choices that I had been making that actually were not supporting me in having a calm, clear mind. Hi Laura, nice to see you. So interesting to look at the cards, and then also see that for September, the card that I drew back in January was the mending card. So again, looking at where are some of the places where I'm ready to forgive, where are some of the places where I'm ready to release and let go of some of the past hurts that will really amplify the way that I create my own freedom and set myself free from all these sort of unrealistic expectations and high standards. Hi Laura. And also just make amends. You know, I think that I was saying this to a client the other day, that you don't have to forgive. You know, we're always told that we need to forgive and forget and move on. And I just want to encourage you to know that you don't forgive until you are ready to forgive. And sometimes that may be never. That might not even be an awareness. There is no right or wrong way to do this. There's just the choice of creating a way that you can be more at peace and calm and ease and really still with whatever it is you're calling in for your life right now. And oopsie, I don't know why that started playing, but my husband's just walked in. That's what this is. So you know, just know that things don't necessarily work that way when you're in surrender, when you're in a place of knowing your desires and knowing what you need, and then getting really clear about how you want to feel. And it really is a process of trust. The work is never ending. It's a process of letting go and stop clinging to all these external circumstances and willing things to show themselves to you when you're not ready to see them. So I find that so often what I see, that it's very scary to let go of the planning and to get upset when things aren't going according to your plans. And our rational, logical mind, our ego, wants to be right. And it comes in and it says, no, you've got to do it this way, and it's got to look like this. And when you're working in a conscious business, you know, I see so many of my clients going, oh my God, it's September already. How am I going to get through this and get my results and get what I want and get everything in order for the end of the year? And I just want to be the voice today on this first day of spring, the next 90 days till the end of the year, to make room for spirit, for this divine feminine, to really come into how you're going to plan out the next 90 days and see, you know, where you can actually go into prayer, go into meditation, go into quiet time like I did today again, and ask spirit, ask divine Pachamama to support you, and have this intention that you're going to put together an idea that's very counterintuitive often of that futuring of how do I want to feel 3 months from now? How do I want to feel in my home and my health and my family and my relationships and my business? And how can I carry this intention forward as you make the plans, knowing that they're blessed? Trust that you are blessed, that you're divinely supported, that life has your back. And really instill that as a mantra, that you are willing and ready to let go of any old stories, any old fears, any old limitations that have not served you or have been blindsiding you or short-circuiting you or putting your head in the sand to what is truly possible and available as you and as somebody that is creating movements in faith, in active faith for a better world. And really, really ask for that, because this is where the miracles come in. You know, this is where things show up in synchronistic timing and things just fit, and it's a feeling that you could never plan, you could never imagine it from a lateral formulaic system. And it's never perfect timing, it's the right timing. So I'm not saying don't plan, and I'm not saying don't have structures. Get support. but please make space, make a huge space for your soul and for your divine feminine, your multisensory being, to be attuned to the oneness and wholeness of the whole collective, and the perfect vision for a sustainable future, not just for you. Stop shitting all over yourself. Stop separating yourself. Stop creating this separation sickness. Come back to your heart. And even though things might look bright and shiny and fast, and we want everything instantly, and it might be ticking all the big plans that you have, you just feel off. Trust that, because it's not your own creation. It's not yours. It's somebody else's version of how you should be living your life. Hi, Laura. So is this making sense? Give me some love or some hearts, and give me some questions if this is resonating with you, because this is really how you birth your abundance. You get to bring forth your creativity in your eyes into something bigger than your rational mind could ever imagine. So just open yourself up to what really wants to come through you, and you will get that clarity from a place of knowing yourself, from that deep down place that you've got this, that whatever you dream of, you can achieve. And the divine gods, whatever you want to call it, the universe, he doesn't bring things your way, including especially the challenges, if you weren't equipped to transform them. So keep that connection with oneness and the divine and the creator with a big C into your daily planning and into your dreaming and into your futuring right now, because the world is literally as we dream it. And what you appreciate, always appreciate. And this is what the indigenous people and all the shamanic work I've done and all the consciousness work that I've done, all these old ancient wisdom and traditions always say that our ancestors 7 generations back dreamed us into being, and they dreamed for us on our path to make this world a better place by giving thanks to the compass directions of the air and the water and all of it together. And we're here as the ancestors of this 7 generations to come to make their world better, that there is a world that is alive and vibrant. So your futuring, your visioning has a lot of power. So ask yourself, how do you want your next 3 months of your year fit into the grand scheme of things, the big design for all life to sustain, for everything to get better? And just send this blessing over your intuitive planning, that this is for the highest good of you and all life forms, and for your family and for nature and for the animals. And ask your spirits to help you. And just allow yourself to really trust that from your deep down place, to see what you need to get the results that you want. And then give that gift to yourself. Look at what you're gifted at. See your unique talents and capacities, and see, are you aligned in how you're showing up, so that your clients can get those results, and that you get the results with your health, with your relationships, from this very feminine potency that's always within you. Your wise woman is never leaves you. It's just been abused and misused, especially in the last decade. This feminine energy has really been paraded around as something feminine that's actually very masculine. So beware of wolves in sheep's clothing, and the fake prophets out there, and just come back to trusting that deep wisdom that resides within you, and go and create those things that you really know that you're here to create. Share them with the world from that place of your diamond brilliance, your genius zone of brilliance, and ask for support. Ask who it is that you need to bring into your life to support you on this as you go into the next 3 months of your journey. Because if you're waking up in the morning and you're just randomly going straight into the actions, you don't get to connect with the part of you that knows. So just look at, how are you starting your day out? How are you creating momentum in your life from this intuitive felt sense? Because that's when you take that time to do some futuring, to do some deep meditation, to do some journaling, to pull an oracle card in request of support, everything changes. This is the zone of miracles, where abundance is, and possibilities that you couldn't even know are waiting for you, and you just need to follow the flow. This is how things will change. Hi, Esty. Hi, Laura. So questions, comments, hearts, if you know someone that might want to hear this, please share it. And let's just look at how do you want to create more intimacy into your life. Well, you have to start by it being into you. See, you have to look at what is true for you and open up, be vulnerable of how you want to see your life and how you want people to receive you. And what a better world could that be if we just stop creating conflict. There's no need for conflict between the head and the heart, or the masculine and the feminine. We have space within us for both, and we just need to integrate the left and the right brain. They're there to serve you, and you don't need to keep creating the struggle and the conflict. If you just drop down really, really deep down and you listen to that inner voice of wisdom and stop shaming and blaming and shoulding yourself. Just do the daily practice. Listen to your intuition. Slow down and create space in your day to connect with that wise, intuitive woman that knows that she knows that she knows and is always navigating you through your life. You have to be willing to be patient and persistent, because it's all nonverbal. And this is why I love using the trust process and teaching the trust process, because it's a way that you can bring yourself back to center, to just create that blank space of no thinking, and then you can receive that feeling and that clarity through those nudges of what you're looking for. So happy first of spring. If you are celebrating spring, just invite you to just take some time out today to just celebrate a new season. Get quiet enough to really ask, what do I want to create in the next 90-day period of 2017, so that you can continue being strong. There is no ending. And a side note on that too is, I just see there's this epidemic of women that are burning themselves out. I fell into that myself, where we're trying to do something that we think we have to do, instead of deepening into, what am I here to create? What am I here to contribute in this divine feminine energy? We're in multi-sensory beings, and we're not listening to that. Hi, Sonia. So, this is where your cortisol's going through the roof all the time, because you're stressing out and you're pushing and you're forcing and you're not listening to this quiet voice of intuition. We have to stop pushing. How do you do that? Use the trust process. If you want to know how to do that and you're in Johannesburg, come and join me on the 24th. I'm going to be teaching this in the Being Heard one day workshop with horses, who are the best mirrors of our deepest, darkest blind spots. So make some space, connect with nature, find out how you can be systemic and in flow by remembering who you are. Linear systems don't often work for intuitive women like you. There's a sensitivity to this that doesn't do well when we're pushing and forcing. So just ask yourself, what is the space of creation that is wanting to happen through me in this moment? And this is really what I do every day, is I just take that time before I start my life. Well, lots of airplanes today. To just deepen into the practice of intentional creativity. And that is such a simple act of kindness, and a beautiful space of getting curious, of letting your imagination lead you from that childlike curiosity that's within all of us. Sometimes we just forget that it's there. So just ask yourself, what's the best pathway forward for you right now to achieve this thing that you're wanting? And then tap in. Do some free writing. Ask yourself, what is this energy that I most need to partner with right now in order for this to move forward, for me to get the results? What is the support that I need, energetically, physically? Where's your soul sister tribe? Where are the people that can hold that space and listen to you while you listen to your body, and notice how your body feels, and then follow your body's natural impulse? Trust whatever comes up, because the world's pretty upside down right now, and it's up to us to come back and create that inner peace and calm. and really listen to that voice that knows, instead of looking outside for the answer that you have inside of you. Just tap in and ask yourself, how can I make my life better? How can I create and be a greater contribution through this return to trust? Hi Candace, nice to see you here. So just soften your hearts, and dare to be vulnerable, and look after your body. You know, I was looking at this myself with a client of mine that's just been through a vicious round of chemotherapy, and there's so much chaos and trauma and drama going on at the moment with the rescuing efforts in the flooded areas of India and Houston right now, and this is an ongoing thing in Africa. And I'm involved with a lot of rescue centers, and I do this trust process with them just to add more support and help the animals feel better, faster and quicker. And spring, you know, this is a great time to do a detox for your body. If you have melancholia, you know, that actually means green bile. So I've been on a juice fast for the last 5 days, and I can really feel that just by upping my vitamin C intake, taking more time to rest, listening to my body, unhooking myself from the pushing, and then nurturing my body through good sleep hygiene, through juice fasting, through exercise and movement, upping the vitamin C. I also have, I'm a great believer, especially with my chronic disease clients, the clients that are really, really fighting for their lives right now, that upping your vitamin C is one of the cheapest, quickest, fastest ways to boost your immune system. Ozone, oxygen machines. You know, you don't need barometric fancy chambers or ozone machines or anything like that. All you need to do is go get yourself a tank of oxygen and keep it really, really simple. Get a piece of tubing, fastest, quickest way. Just stick it in your ears for 5 minutes every night, or by your nose. And if you really, really are in crisis, a healing crisis right now, then lube it up and put it into your vagina or into your anus, and get your cells oxygenated. Get an oxygen tank. It is so worth it, and such an inexpensive way to heal yourself through what God gave us. You know, fresh oxygenated blood and a strong immune system, just by doing those simple things like getting out in the sun, upping your vitamin D, get into a sauna, preferably infrared one, and make sure to wash yourself really, really well, because it's amazing how many toxins come out when you do things like that. If you have animals in distress right now, and I'm talking about real shock and trauma systems, always fall back to nature as my medicine. It's just so amazing. It's springtime. Go buy some basil and herbs and get your fingers in the ground and start digging and getting in the dirt, and it's all so easily and accessible. Grow your own vegetables. You can turn your health around so quickly if you just return to nature as your medicine. And you know, I see traumatized animals and people all the time. So if you're listening to this and you're involved in rescue efforts, or you work at a shelter, or you're working with high arousal nervous system where they're so shut down and they're in shock and trauma from fireworks, that, you know, they're so sensitive to changes in the atmospheric pressure long before the storms hit or fireworks start. They sense it in their bodies, and you can see it. If you have animal companions, you can see it when they start to just feel out of sorts. They know what's coming, and we just need to listen to them, and we can support them too. You know, if you're involved, I have a lot of clients that trap feral cats and neuter them, and I'm just thinking right now, in my meditation this morning, it's like, how can I contribute more? It's just like send love, send that homeopathic energy of some of the rescue remedies or Bach remedies. And if you're on the ground and you're doing this work, get yourself some arnica, get yourself some rescue remedy. And if you can't literally touch these animals, just put them in a clean spray bottle with some good clear water, and then just mist it over them, and you'll see that it'll calm them down beautifully. It's incredible how this works. And of course, if you know how to use the trust process, what a beautiful way to give. And you can do this energetically. You can focus on an animal that you're thinking of, and you can just get into that state of trust where your state of non-thinking is stronger than their state, and it calms them down beautifully and so quickly. So just a few ideas. Aconite's another great one. As a homeopath, I spoke about rescue remedy, and arnica if there's shock or trauma to their body. Fulvic acid is another one that I love. So just make sure that, you know, if you're misting them, that your bottle is clean and you're using good clean water. And just mist them. Mist yourself if you're feeling slightly traumatized or in some state of chronic stress right now. You'll be amazed how these small things add up. So I always say, take one step at a time. Inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. Hi, Tracy Fisher. Good morning. Hi, Karen. So has this been useful? I hope so. I know I've moved around a little bit, but there's been a lot of things that I've been kind of processing and integrating myself and with my clients over the last couple of days. So, you know, and I just want to say huge appreciation for all the people on the ground that are, you know, devoted to helping animals in distress, not just in times of crisis, but in their everyday work, in shelter work and everything else. You know, there's just so many amazing things going on and amazing organizations that I support. So also, you know, if you can't feed your animals or you're fostering animals, see how you can boost their immune system. Fulvic acid is very easy to get hold of. It's cheap, and it really helps to boost the immune system. After shock and trauma, this is always where people and animals get sick, because the immune system is just totally depleted from the shock and the traumas. So if you're working in shelters, somebody asked me this the other day, I know they have plenty of food coming in. So if people are wanting to donate, ask them to give you things like fresh eggs, or fresh pumpkin or canned pumpkin. It's not so readily available in South Africa, but I know you can get canned pumpkin overseas. So ask people to donate things like that, or blankets or towels, or what did I say? Eggs, pumpkin, sweet potato, bone broth, anything like that. That even if they're eating subpar kibble, those additions are going to make a huge difference to those animals' lives. And the smallest things that you can contribute to animals, to the needy, are going to make a huge difference in their lives. So just know that everything changes, and it all starts with that one question that I asked myself today is how can we make things better? Happy spring to you and Jana. So there you go. Some of my thoughts, some of my process that I've been doing today on the 1st of spring, and looking at my card that I have for September, to just be gentle on yourself. Hi Lumari, hi Helen. You know, there's mending to be done, not just on my own physical journey, but there's a lot of mending to do globally as well, and for the planet and for the animals. And we can't do that if we're not trusting that we live in a trusting universe, and that we are supported, and that there are people that you can trust. So, you know, let go of past hurts. That's the card that I pulled for myself. And look at for the next 90 days going forward. What is it that you would love to do? And where are you out of attunement to that? And how can I support you in that? So if we're not friends on Facebook, please Facebook friend me if that feels like to you, and join these conversations. I do them whenever I feel called. I'm trying to make them shorter. It's a problem that I seem to have. Being a verbal processor, I tend to go long on my Facebook lives, but I will be doing like 10-minute short daily boosts of true nature medicine. And if you're in Johannesburg, have a look at the Being Heard Through Horses, the one-day workshop on returning to trust, and just know that you're loved, and and trust that you're so divinely supported. And if you have any comments or questions, or if you'd like a reading, I'm going to be doing short reads to help you. I do have my card, so if anyone has a question and would like a quick reading, otherwise I will end this live today, go fetch my daughter. She's coming home from camp, and it's a beautiful day, so we're going to go out again and see the horses later on, see what wisdom they have to share with us. And I am also, just as a side note, I'm off to Imoya. If none of you know about Imoya, please go and have a look at this incredible dream that a young teenage girl had to make a better life for animals that had been in horrendous conditions in circuses and zoos, specifically cats. And from this one first lioness that she rescued from a circus and brought back to Africa, there's just been a huge effort of 33 lions from all over the world that have joined her, and that is imoya.org.za. I'm leaving to share my trust process with their volunteers and their staff, and also to work with the lions. They have 2 tigers as well, and they've just suffered a terrible tragic loss of 2 of their males that were poached after all this time getting back there. So I'm leaving on when am I leaving? On the 14th of September, and I'm asking if you'd like to contribute, if you would like to show your appreciation for the work that she's doing. Go to their site and see. There's tons of things that they're always looking for. At the moment, there's a big drive for veterinary supplies. They've got to up the security because poaching is a huge problem of the lions for lion bones. Lion bones are not medicine, neither is rhino horn. So let's get that information out as best we can in a loving, compassionate way. And if you'd like to contribute to Imoya, as I said, I'm driving up to do some work there in the middle of September, and if there's anything that you'd like to donate, they have plenty of toys. So we're looking more for like veterinary supplies, tables, prep bowls. So if you've just renovated or redone your house, or you'd like to contribute to me getting a nice supply of cannabis oil, which is very good for calming and building immunity. What else am I going to be taking up? I'm going to be taking up, I'd like to take a 10 kg bag of fulvic acid. So if you'd like to know how you can contribute to Imoya, other than monetarily, please get hold of me. Every little bit counts, as I said, or donate to a cause or a movement that you believe in. All right, so nobody wants a card. I'll pull one for the group, and then I'm going to go and enjoy this spring day. So anybody want a reading on anything specific? Haha. So I pulled the Loyal Heart card as a card for everyone that's either listening to this live or is going to listen to the replay. And this really is about be loyal to your heart. You know, what do you need that's going to support you with the next 30 days? Know that you're not alone. This is a beautiful card. There's 2 owls on it. You know, this is about the wisdom of the heart, the ancient wisdom that resides within you as an infant being that's been around for millennia, the one that knows. So, you know, how can you return to your heart, and how can you deepen into trusting that you are the creator of your own future, and spend some time today. As I said before, that card is just really coming home to say, trust yourself. For me, that is all about trust and loyalty and devotion. So be devotional to you, be devotional to your gifts and contributions to the work that you're putting out in the world, and look for evidence of trust, that you can trust others, that you are trusted, that you can trust life, that you can trust yourself, and trust that you're enough. You're enough. You're enough for your animals. You're enough for your body. And you start looking for that evidence of trust, you'll see it, and others will prove that they're trustworthy and faithful as well. And then just commit to it. So I'm just reading the message in here. and long term, you know, your goals, if you consistently show up and you do your inner work, you tap into doing your own inner game, you're going to start seeing evidence everywhere. And remember, there's nothing to prove and nothing to hide. So you are manifesting miracles. Keep focused on a sustainable future, and don't, you know, stop getting distracted by all the bright shiny objects and quick fixes. They don't exist. The momentum happens on. I'm so glad, Esty. Would you like a card? All right, I'm going to draw a card for you, Esty Jansen. So I'm just tapping into you. Oh, and the card I drew, Esty, for you is a card that's inviting you to clean it up. So again, great time to look at what is it that you're ready to let go of, even if you're afraid. Have a look at, it's a beautiful card, and I love the symbology of this beautiful elk, this deer with a feather duster in his hands. Deer energy is gentle. The medicine of any kind of deer is a very gentle, quiet, loving energy. It's about knowing and trusting that you have the herd to be your eyes and ears, so that you can rest and take some time to literally clean up your mental clutter, clean up your physical space, and look at when you're deepening into cleansing and purifying and transmuting these old energies and letting go and forgiving, which was my card around mending, you make room for the new energies to come in. If your cup is already overflowing, it's the same as if your nervous system is literally tanked up, and you start trying to apply new ways to heal on top of a real mucky system. It doesn't come in. It's like kind of like throwing chlorine. I hate chlorine, but the analogy of throwing chlorine into a pool to clear it up, but it doesn't go in because there's all this muck and this algae floating on the top. So, a lot of times, this is what I see, is that people get frustrated because they're saying, I'm doing all this stuff, I've cleaned up my diet, I'm getting good sleep, I'm doing everything that was in their personal prescription when they come in for a session, and yet they still feel like crap. You got to remember that your body, you need to go at your body's pace first of all. And again, it's not about pushing. So deer energy on that card, without getting into a whole explanation of it, just like life, is you have to be willing to slow down and go at your body's pace. And if your body, just like if your animal says no, then honor the no. Honor the no. Look at your personal boundaries. I hope that resonates for you. It's just like, this is an invitation to clean up and really get to the root cause of what's creating any disharmony or frustration or any kind of resentment to build in you, and let yourself go of the burden. Remember, people don't break your heart, they break your expectations. So I would also turn that in regards to your card, Esty, on looking at where can you literally use that feather duster and sweep away any of these old attitudes and beliefs and stories that are no longer serving you. So that's it. Last call. Anybody like a card reading? And if you don't want it now, you can always just type it in the comments. I do reply to all the comments, and I really appreciate you being here. So if there is nobody else, I'm gonna go. All right, enjoy your day wherever you are, and trust that you're enough, trust that you're loved, and make this next 90-day cycle, this new season where spring, all the flowers are blooming. Beautiful jasmine, the scent of the jasmine, oh, it's absolutely heavenly. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses and slow down and be gentle. That's deer energy for you. Yes. Tread gently on yourself and tend to your inner garden. All right, guys, lots of love. Bye. Mwah.